Welcome, all you young, inexperienced ninja out there. I'm Duuz-Diz-Din coming at you with another chapter review of Boruto, Naruto Next Generations. This time it's chapter number 32, titled Obligation, or Good Deed, or Ode Debt, I think it is in the other translations. But we continue on with the fight between Naruto and Delta. And one of the big things that I know that a lot of people have been judging this fight on is the fact that Naruto, who has speed beyond speed, abilities that should be able to confuse and disarm Delta, abilities that should easily cause him to overpower Delta. Many people have spoken out against the fact that Naruto is, either being displayed as far too weak or he's being too naive in the way that he's going up against Delta. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy this fight for the most part, but when you get to the fact that Naruto has such a wide, varied range of abilities and tactics to take on Delta herself, tactics and abilities that made him able to overpower people that even some of the other strongest ninja in all of Naruto, the Naruto series, could barely even deal with. It brings forward the question of just how much has Naruto forgotten? How much does he how long has it been since he's really been challenged, honestly? Because it's been at least a solid, I'd say around maybe 20 years, at most. But even then, even in fights against, the Otsutsuki clan, he's shown a wide variety of abilities and potential. But the downside to all of this, the downside is that ultimately this comes from the fact that Kishimoto made Naruto too powerful and too capable on his own. And that creates a bits of plot holes to a certain degree when he takes on other characters who don't display basically mountain destroying abilities and tactics. Yes, Delta seems very capable to Naruto maybe back when he was, in the midpoint of Naruto Shippuden. But with all that we've seen him able to do later down the line, it's pretty apparent that, Naruto is just not bringing his A game. And I get, ultimately, I understand for the most part. Naruto doesn't want to do anything that would give her an edge over him. She doesn't want to, he doesn't know in what way she's able to absorb his attacks and stuff like that. But, that's why you bring in shadow clones. That's why you bring in more heavy-hitting attacks and stuff like that. And then we have, Boruto seeing his dad struggle, quote-unquote. But Kawaki, calls Boruto out on this. He's like, he's not understand. He's not using any of his bigger attacks because he doesn't want us getting in harm's way. He's planning something. He's trying to do something in order to take her off guard and properly capture her to get some information out of her. But the downside to this is the fact that the three kids are standing so close by in perfect range for Delta to come at them at any time, or one of the attacks or explosion or techniques to, just go, one stray shot, and next thing you know, you got 3 dead kids on your hand. And, that's why it's just like, why are you guys so close by? You need to get the hell out of there as far as possible as you can, because you're a hindrance. Even being this close, you are a hindrance. You are an easy target at any time for anything to possibly happen to you. Kawaki spells out what any Naruto fan should know is obvious, that Naruto could reach back like a pimp at any time and slap a hoe. But, he's not doing that because he doesn't want to do anything overblown. And, Kawaki says that, he'll wear her down. Naruto will wear her down at some point as long as no outside forces interfere or anything stupid along those lines. And it gets to a bit of a standstill to a certain point, and Delta outright, mentions the fact that she's outclassed between the, regenerative abilities that he has, the boundless strength and energy. And Naruto's just like, you understand, so surrender. But, she doesn't, and next thing you know, she's pulling out I-beam lasers, like something from Dragon Ball, or like Dio Brando and his compressed what the hell ever, which, it takes Naruto off guard. But Kawaki mentions that the beams are developed to be able to, damage cells to the point where they wouldn't be able to properly regenerate. That even Kawaki's own body wouldn't be able to survive a strike from that. But Naruto's just like, well, you missed, and it looked like it takes a lot of power for you to just do that. Which, no, that the amount of force from that blast isn't even the same amount of impact that you would get from one of Naruto's Rasengans. It would take like level 1 Naruto Rasengan could do that same amount, around that same amount of damage. So it's just like, and Naruto calls out, it's just like, that doesn't seem like something you could do multiple times. Your best bet is probably just to give up. But Delta, being very stubborn for the most part, is just like, I just gotta hit you once, bro. I just gotta get one good shot in on you. So she tries at point blank. Naruto, son of the Yellow Flash, blinding speed beyond blinding speed, naturally is able to dodge anything super fatal, of course. And they just continue to keep going at it. And I don't know, it just feels like Naruto's not really bringing everything he possibly can to this battle. And the moment that Naruto, it kind of looks like maybe she might get him point blank, in comes Boruto, and Kawaki's like, yo, dude, you idiot, what are you doing? And he throws one of his miniature Rasengan, the disappearing one, and it takes Delta off course for a moment, but using her drone that she has floating above the battle, she's able to zoom in on the miniature invisible Rasengan. She notices it and absorbs it right then and there. And this opening, the shock by everyone, takes everyone off guard, and so she immediately goes after Boruto, and she's just like, oh yeah, kids. So it's just like, way to go, Boruto, you called out yourselves, and made yourselves known when she was completely focused on taking Naruto down. And so she has the brilliant idea of taking the weakest one out of them, Himawari, and tossing her up in the air and firing her I-beams at her, hoping that Naruto would come in and, save her. Which he does, and it looks like Himawari and Naruto are, done for, but in comes Kawaki in order to block against the blast with his own arm. And considering what he said before, apparently Kawaki's without arm now. Which Delta was surprised by. It's just like, I can't believe he actually stepped in and did something like that. So showing that Kawaki has grown, and it shows greater character growth on Kawaki's own side of things. But it also shows that ultimately Naruto has either forgotten too much or something, because he's not, when you had a character who has developed and grown as much as he has for the most part, to see him not able to, be able to challenge someone like this, or be challenged by someone like this, honestly, it raises just far too many questions on a whole. But Kawaki, when he's asked by Boruto why he did that, and Boruto's just like, oh, I'm so sorry, it's all my fault. Yeah, Boruto, it kinda is. the series is named after you. And if it were like someone like, I don't know, Konohamaru or something going up against Delta, that would be another thing, because we don't know the full range of abilities of what, Konohamaru can do. Now that would be one thing, but it's just like with Naruto, it's just like, nah, he probably had this. Kawaki mentions that maybe this pays them back for the vase incident, and Boruto's just like, what are you even thinking about at a time like this? And Delta grows to a point of rage beyond rage. It's just like, yeah, I'm super pissed right now. I'm gonna make you all suffer. But even still, it's just like, well, what are you gonna do now? It's been pretty obvious that Naruto have you outmatched at every single turn. So at least, unless she, takes Boruto captive or something at this point, or tries to, get to Himawari again, I don't know what could happen. And then it just makes Naruto seem incompetent for letting something like that happen as well. So it just, it really does raise a lot of questions about a lot of things in terms of this universe as a whole. I personally don't hate it, but when people ask those questions and I see them asking those questions, I myself am just like, maybe they're right. Maybe this just is kind of negligent on the part of the writers when you have a character who has overcome so much and shown so much growth and strength, when they're not able to beat a character like this whose A-game just seems to be like, at most maybe one of the Akatsuki, which Naruto has, is far beyond right now. It just seems... it seems a little dubious, but I mean, I've been liking this for the most part. I don't want to personally hate on any of this, but what can you do? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on this whole subject of Naruto's power? Do you feel that this seems about right? Would you be saddened if there was no challenge? Do you appreciate there being a challenge but feel that the game should be stepped up to a point where it actually looks like Naruto should be challenged? Because when it came down to a showdown with the Otsutsuki clan in the Boruto movie, it's just like, okay, that seems like a fairly evenly matched fight. It seems like Naruto's bringing out everything he possibly can to take this guy down. But in terms of Naruto here, it's just like, it doesn't feel like he's really doing enough. Or do you feel like this is fine? Do you feel that this is how it should be? It gives a little bit of credibility to the villains as a whole. Definitely tell me your thoughts, and if you like this video, feel free to leave me a like, and if you didn't, feel free to leave me a dislike and tell me what I might have done wrong in the comment section below to help me better myself for future videos. And hey, how about subscribing, because I'll definitely continue to bring you more Naruto Next Generation chapter reviews, and you don't have to sacrifice anyone to see them. But until then, I will see you in the next video. Farewell.